Hi, for the next couple of minutes, I want to give you a brief overview of the Synergy Worldwide product line. One of the flagship products we have with Synergy Worldwide is our ProArgi-9 product. It is one of my favorites. It's an L-arginine product with L-citrulline. ProArgi-9 Plus comes from the science that won the Nobel Prize in 1998. You know, the manufacturer is Nature's Sunshine, which is the #1 manufacturer in nutraceuticals. To give you an idea of Nature's Sunshine's, we don't guess, we test. So imagine if there was one drop of water that had heavy metals, radiation, arsenic, lead, mercury, chlorine, anything really bad for the human body in 20 Olympic-sized swimming pools. We would find it. No other company I know in the world that tests this scrutiny before, ever. You know, Forbes magazine has just announced we are in the top 100 credible companies. We're the only direct sales companies in that top 100, which makes us #1, which is very exciting. But let's go back to the main story here with our ProArgi-9 product. You know, a lot of people don't realize, but when you're talking about heart disease, there's so many other diseases we talk about that they don't realize that they're in the same heart disease family. For example, heart disease is interesting, but do you realize that diabetes is in that same family, or high blood pressure, or chronic pain, or arthritis, sexual dysfunction, Alzheimer's? You know, there's a lot more research coming out now showing that when you're lacking nitric oxide, you could have MS, depression, migraine headaches. Again, think about it. Circulation, kidney issues, dementia, lack of energy, menopause, cold feet and hands. You know, there's a number of other symptoms too. It's all in the same family: poor circulation, lack of nitric oxide. And again, ProArgi-9 Plus is just a food giving nutrition to your body that we don't get anywhere else. That's all it is. You know, our body is amazing. It heals itself. But when we're lacking the nutrients, it just can't do its job. For example, if you cut your finger, it's going to heal, hopefully. But what ProArgi-9 Plus does better than anything else on this planet, again, it's just food, but it's giving the body what it's lacking. That's all it's doing, and the body is healing itself. Our product is just a plant-based product that is very nutrition, is what the body needs. Imagine your arteries almost like Velcro, so they're very sticky inside your arteries, okay? So all that plaque, instead of digesting in the human body like it's supposed to, your arteries are like Velcro, and everything just starts sticking to it. They get clogged up. And then eventually those arteries are going to get really hard. And obviously it's going to start with the smaller ones first, clog the little ones first, and then work its way to the big ones. Once it starts clogging the bigger arteries, then you have big problems. What the ProArgi-9 Plus product does is it takes that Velcro effect and turns it into almost a Teflon effect and makes the arteries more flexible and smooth, allowing your body to be flexible inside and your body digesting all that plaque the way it was supposed to do. Now, we don't get the nutrition in our food anymore that we used to. And so we have to take a supplement like ProArgi-9 Plus to help our body maintain the nitric oxide levels that we're now lacking in our human body. But who's this affect? It affects pretty much everybody because we're not getting the nutrition in our diets at all across the board worldwide. Heart disease is the biggest disease on the planet, and this product, ProArgi-9 Plus, can make a difference. So you need to try it yourself. And if you're a little skeptical and you need to go to your doctor, that's great too, because it's in the physician's desk reference and you can look it up for yourself and your doctor can research it right there in front of you. There are some great books for information out there. One book is from Louis Ignarro that helped win the Nobel Prize in 1998, No More Heart Disease. Another book from Dr. Cook out of Stanford University, The Cardiovascular Cure. And one of my favorite is Dr. Joe Pendergraft's book, The Uncommon Doctor. I highly recommend that book. What these three books have in common is nitric oxide and how important it is in the human body. Let me give you another idea how I look at this. Let's say, for example, you're trying to get calcium in your bones, okay? And you eat healthy, you're trying to eat good foods and everything else. And you're working out. If you're trying to get calcium into your bones and your arteries are blocked, how is the calcium supposed to go to your bones if those arteries are blocked going to your bones? There's no way. Now again, ProArgi-9 Plus is not some magic product. It's just simply a food that helps your body do what it's supposed to do. So in this case, it's going to dilate the arteries, and in one side effect, it might help your calcium get into the bones because it's going to help dilate those arteries, getting into the bones a lot better. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's say you're trying to lose weight. Okay. Now, let's take your fat cell. Most of your toxins are in your fat cells. And you could jog all day. If those arteries going to the fat cells are blocked, how is all the toxins that we use for energy and everything else going to be utilized if the arteries are blocked? You know, when your fat cells are blocked in the human body, you store a lot of nutrition in there. So you're really starving yourself in a sense, and you find yourself wanting to constantly eat. That's why we have so many people now with heart disease on the rise, so many people gaining weight because they're actually starving and constantly want to eat because you're not using the energy and the nutrients stored in your fat cells to support your body. What ProArgi-9 does is simply dilate the arteries, use the body the way it's supposed to do, and it helps pull the toxins and different things. That's why a lot of people have different detoxing effect with the product. So I think it's the number one product you should take. In fact, I can't go a day without it because if I go without it, I continually get worse with different symptoms. It's a product that I need to take the rest of my life because it's the only way I know that I can get true nitric oxide in my body and my body function properly. So what if you eat healthy? All this is going to do, this is helping your body dilate the arteries to allow more oxygen and nutrition in the bodies. If you eat healthy, that's great. This is going to allow more nutrition to get in your body because it's going to expand the arteries. Whatever you eat that is good, it's going to help get into the system, which is great. Let's talk about athletes for a while. You know, let's say you're working out, you're jogging, running, working out, lifting weights, whatever it is, maybe climbing Mount Everest, whatever that is, or playing some professional sport out there. You know, there's a lot of professional athletes on this product. What's great about ProArgi-9 Plus, even if you don't believe you have heart disease and you're in the greatest health ever, all it's going to do is enhance your natural ability to recoup itself. For example, by taking ProArgi-9 Plus, you're going to allow more nutrients and proteins into the body. You're going to gain more muscle mass, burn more fat, and have a better recovery time. So for a sports product, there's nothing better than ProArgi-9 Plus, and it's approved by the Olympic Board worldwide. You know, here's a question I get quite a bit. Maybe you have this already in your head. You know, what's the difference between this and just buying L-arginine from a store or somewhere online? Well, let me tell you the main difference I see. Most L-arginine out there is animal-based. So you don't know where that animal came from, what country that animal was in. You don't know much about this product at all because it was probably resold multiple times before that final label was put on it and you bought it. Okay? So we really don't know the pedigree of that product. You know, it's a scary world we live in sometimes, folks, and so you got to be careful even buying online that you don't get some copycat product. What's exciting about this product is it's 100% plant-based. The main ingredient is tapioca root or rice, depending on the season. It's manufactured by Synergy Worldwide and Nature's Sunshine, which you can go down anytime, look at their manufacturing practices. There's no other manufacturer I know that has the scrutiny they do. So when you're doing your research, definitely know where that product comes from. The other factor you need to look at when you're taking an L-arginine product by itself, it's only probably going to last about 2 hours in the body, according to all the books and research out there. With the ProArgi-9 Plus product, what we're finding is it lasts a whole 24 hours in the body. If you have one of these heart-related diseases, you need a nice, steady flow of nitric oxide all day long so you don't shock the system. No other product really that I've ever seen can do that. You know, another question I get quite a bit is, how much ProArgi-9 do I take? You know, in the clinical studies, it was based on 4 servings a day, but it's such a strong product. You know, if you overdo it right at the beginning, you could get some diarrhea or over detoxing there. What I recommend is I just drink it all day long, and so you can just slowly get in your system all day long, and I try to do 4 to 6 servings a day myself. So let me ask you an important question. What are you doing to protect yourself against heart disease? This is the only product I see that seems to be working, and it's from the most reputable company out there. We have a 51% retention on our products, which means every single person you introduce that gets on the product, that stays on it for the next couple months, there's a 51% chance that they're going to stay on it the rest of their life. The second product we have is called Mistica or Mistify in Europe. It's an acai berry product. It's been tested by Brunswick Laboratory to have a 43% reduction in cellular damage after a 20-day clinical study. Wow, what does that mean? That's a mouthful of words. So what that means, I asked the doctor what that means, and basically adding 20 years to my life because it's going to help my body make a copy of itself better than it normally would. I'm not a doctor, but that's the way I was told. For your immune system, you need to take Mistify or Mistica, and definitely that could be a #1 product just in itself. The third product we have is called Chlorophyll, or PhytoLife, depending on where you're at. It's probably our #1 selling product worldwide. The science of chlorophyll won the Nobel Prize in 1915, and it is one molecule off from blood plasma. It's an amazing product, and it's very pure. It's probably the best way to balance your pH of any product out there. You instantly get greens in your system. Your pH is perfectly balanced, and everybody that's alive needs to have a balanced pH. So if you want to be healthy and you want to take your greens and you want a perfect pH, definitely take the chlorophyll product. Late 2014, we're launching our weight loss system into Europe, which is going to be very exciting. We already have it in the US. It's called SLM Smart. It has a 10-year study on Harvard University, and the science is off the chart of how it works. It's absolutely amazing. A lot of people need to be healthier and lose some weight. This is a perfect way to do it, and to refer it with others. For any other questions, go to 1998nobelprize.com. There's some great doctor interviews on there. Dr. Joe, just for your information, was probably one of the first doctors out there that really tested L-arginine and nitric oxide with human patients. And he probably has more patient studies than anybody else out there. Another great doctor is Dr. Rainer Borger out of Germany. He, according to Stanford University, is the #1 nitric oxide specialist in the world. And he's doing his own studies. In fact, he had his own nitric oxide product for many years. But when the ProArgi-9 product came out in Europe, he is now discontinuing his own product and now using Synergy Worldwide's product, the ProArgi-9 Plus. Dr. Siva was one of the pioneers with ProArgi-9 Plus. He did one of the original studies, had great results with it, and now he uses it in his practice at the High Desert Institute. There's so many great doctors coming on board with Synergy Worldwide. Definitely take a look at our Doctors Advisory Board. And go to the person that told you about Synergy Worldwide and these great product lines so you can get more information.